it's John. I'm here in Los Angeles on a good sunny day, a hot day. It's not quite Christmas yet, but I don't know, maybe this is too soon for you guys. A little Christmas cheer, probably for the rest of the world, but for us as sellers, Christmas is here, the holiday season is here. We have to get in the spirit. We have to get planning. We have to get going because it is Q4, guys. It is hot. It is the best time of the year for us, and we need to make sure we take full advantage of it. So today we're going to talk about how to take advantage of Q4, tips and tricks, how to nail it like a boss, how to beat your competition, how to get all the sales, because that's what it's all about. This is typically one of the best times of the year for us. So I'm going to get rid of this hat for a second because it's going to be too hot for right now. Hopefully this is good. But guys, we're going to jump in right now and go through the slide. But first, let's talk in the chat for a second. So I encourage participation right here. Jump in there, and I want to hear from you. Are you in the research phase? So are you a researcher, or are you selling? Or are you a seller? So put in there researcher or seller, and then tell us what is your biggest challenge right now with regards to Q4. In Q4, what is your biggest fear? What are you worried about the most? So put a couple of those in there. I want to make sure that I address these, and Darren's going to help as well. But we're going to make sure we work through all these and hopefully answer all those questions for you guys. But we've got some researchers. Stuart, you're a seller. That's awesome. Okay, it's not good. Increased competition, really good one. That's from Robert. Thank you. All right, guys, we have a bunch of questions in here. Darren's going to man that side for us. We're going to make sure we address these as we go through the presentation. So, all right, guys, let's kick it off. Let's get into a little bit of theory, cover some tips and tricks. Now, this theory is not only my thoughts from experience of obviously selling, but I've spoken to a bunch of big sellers and also some big agencies, some experts, and just at a very high level, giving us their main tips for running the business. So this is their experts and their thinking and theory all based here. So we can go through that, and we're going to dive into a little bit of ZonGuru to show you some of the tools that you should be absolutely nailing and getting right and being familiar with before you get into the heavy selling season. And then we'll open up to Q&A so you guys can ask me some questions and I can just get Darren to answer them, and I'll run out the room. Anyway, all right, guys, let's jump in. Okay, so let me see if you guys can see. Can you see my slide? Did it change? You guys seeing that?
Yep.
All right, everyone in the chat seeing that? Okay, Karen, you manning that. So Q4, guys, what to expect. This is where we start to get into the holiday season. We've got Halloween coming up, October 31st. We've got Thanksgiving. We've got Black Friday. Black Friday is on November 29th, so that's coming up really soon. Cyber Monday, that's a massive day for us. And then we basically straight into December. December 1st and onwards is basically Christmas. That is every single day people are buying gifts like crazy, getting them ready, returning them, going back and forth. There's a whole bunch going on. It's really Halloween, October 31st and kind of mid-October that you're going to start to see your sales absolutely start to really pick up. So these are the things that we need to look out for and some of the things that we can expect going into this holiday season. The first being, are you going to get about 3 extra monthly sales? Now, obviously, it depends on what category you're in, where you rank, what type of product you have. But usually we expect at least 2 to 3x on your actual sales. Usually how we look at it is we say, okay, if it's a 12-month year of sales, we make it a 14-month year because those extra 2 months of sales is what you'll get just in December. And it can absolutely be way bigger than that. You can be completely surprised. If Amazon recognizes you and says, hey, we're going to make money out of your listing, they will just tweak it and get a couple more percentage and your sales are going to really skyrocket. So you need to plan as much as you can for those sales. And hopefully you don't run out and you've got enough at the end. But 3x is usually how we look at it. Now, there's other key ways of how you should plan around what those sales are, and I'll get into that in a second. All right, competitor antics. So guys, there are a bunch of competitors. They're going to be doing a bunch of things, changing prices, changing their photos, jumping onto different promotions, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of monkey business going on. We need to be aware of that to understand how we should handle that. So we'll cover that as well. Customer issues. So, returns, customers, customer is king. They do think they're king. So how do you handle them? How do you make sure that you deliver on it? And then finally, supplier issues. Supplier, delivery, stock, inventory. We're going to get into that in quite a bit as well. So guys, hopefully that makes all sense to you guys. If that sounds exciting to you, give me a yes in the chat, and just keep engaged, keep focused here, keep those questions coming. Remember, put it into the Q&A if you want Darren to monitor those so that we can address them and prioritize them as we go on. So as you hear questions come up, just pop those into the Q&A and we'll make sure we address them at the end. But hopefully, guys, this sounds good to you. And let's jump in. Okay, so those are the things that are going on over the Christmas period or the holiday period. So what's the strategy? What are the key things we need to be doing to make sure that we're managing the business? The first thing is prep, optimize, and monitor. So guys, the most important thing here is we are niche businesses. We're private label businesses. We have a niche product. We don't have these monkey products that are completely, hopefully not like selling in and out, arbitrage, people jumping on, reselling a product. We're not in that space. Hopefully, as much as possible, you've created a differentiated product in a niche that can absolutely nail it during the season. So based on that, the main thing that you need to do is you need to prep. So make sure that your listings, everything is optimized. Your account is optimized to receive the traffic that you're going to be getting, and then monitor the situation, understand what's going on. These are the key things that you have to get right. If you don't get this right, you can't expect to get all the sales at the end of the day. So it's a very simple thing, but it's a really important thing. And this is way more important than any promotion or anything else that's coming out. And that's the second point here. There are a bunch of promotions. There's lightning deals. There's a bunch of things. And I'm going to get into whether you should do that or shouldn't do it. But at a high level, most likely you need to avoid these, especially in the business that we're in private label. It's Amazon trying to make a bunch of money, and it's really focused on some of those retail arbitrage, high volume, competitive, consumer goods space that we probably want to avoid. But PPC and a bunch of other stuff, absolutely we should be doing. So I'm going to get into a little bit of detail on that as we go. Let's dive in, guys. So stock. This is the most important thing and the biggest question. I know I saw in a bunch of questions there, everyone's worried about like how much stock should I order? How long is that going to keep going? And how should I handle that? So this is really, really important, guys. And the very first question here is supplier top of mind. Think about your supplier for a second. They are getting thousands of requests right now. They're getting, sellers shouting at them saying, hey, I need my orders. I need them. You need to prioritize this. Potentially throwing money at them. All of these tactics to try and get their stock out so that they don't run out of stock. So you need to make sure you're forming and having those conversations with your supplier. Understand where they are at, how important your product is, what is their strategies, and most importantly, treat them as a partner, and they'll give you mutual respect back, and make sure that you can form that relationship so that you can absolutely, they'll go that extra level for you, because there's thousands of these guys all competing for their stock and their manufacturing and the shipping and everything else. So guys, make sure you've spoken to your supplier and you've got that all sorted out and you understand what you need. And part of understanding what you need is your projections. So this is the homework you guys need to do. You need to get in there. You need to plan your projections. So how do you plan your projections? If you're live and you've been live for a few months, not a year, how do you actually know how much you're going to sell, right? It's somewhat impossible to know. But obviously, if you've been selling for a year, log into ZonGuru, you can look at your projections over the last year and you can see what you did last year. And then based on that, you can actually come up with a number for your October, November, December, and very importantly, guys, January and February, right? Because it doesn't just end there. You've got to make sure that your suppliers are backed up all the way through January and beyond. So make sure that you have at least coverage for your holiday season, but make sure you've got January and February covered, and then you're putting in your next order in February. So that's the kind of projections you need to put together. If you do have ZonGuru, and I'll show you this in a minute, but if you put in there, we will calculate based on your sales right now, we'll calculate what you will need to make it through until next year. So we can jump into that a little bit of detail as well. But if you don't, and you've just started selling and you're not sure, the biggest trick there, guys, is go in and attract your closest competitors. So at your rank, your level, if you're on page 1 or page 2 or page 3, find your closest competitors, track them in SalesFire, and then look at their data over the last year. You'll be able to see what they were selling in December last year, how they're doing, look at the best competitors on page 1, and just really get a sense for the actual amount of stock that you need, and do that homework. The second part of that, guys, is your freight and storage. Make sure you had those conversations again with your supplier. From your freight perspective, are you going to airship if you run out? Have you spoken to the supplier? Do they have that ready for you? And where do you actually store that? Are you going to store it in Amazon? What are the fees if you store it in Amazon? Are you going to store it at 3PL? Can they take your stock? They're also getting a lot of requests. What are their fees? And a little trick here that we've implemented, I've implemented, and a few others is actually, if you have that relationship with your supplier, speak to them and ask them, can they hold stock for you? And at a moment's notice, you'll be able to air freight it or actually ship it over if you need to. And they might have a storage option there. So you don't have to ship all of it right now. You can ship enough and then potentially bring some later if it makes sense from a financial perspective. So work out those numbers. If they store it, if a 3PL or if Amazon stored, what are those fees look like, and make sure you have a good handle on all of your storage options. And then finally, guys, your cost of goods. There's no point in selling and making a bunch of money in December if your margin is not good. You've got to make sure your margin is 100% accurate. You've entered your right cost of goods, you've entered your right supplier costs, and you've entered your right shipping costs and everything else, so that you know what kind of margins you're going to be making. And guys, so I want to make sure that as I go through this, and we're covering some key concepts here that you guys are following, you're understanding. Just put a yes in there. Make sure this is making sense. And guys, yes, I see a bunch of yeses coming in. But make sure you got those questions so that we can come back to it at the end. These are very key concepts, guys, and it seems simple on a basic level, but there's hundreds of people who are not doing this. And you've got to make sure you put the prep work in now. So if you were doing 5 hours of work on your business on Amazon every month, put in 7 hours right now. Do that extra little bit. Make sure you're planning, optimizing, doing the work so that you absolutely are optimized. Amazon want to see that you are a serious player in this business, and they're going to send you a bunch of business because they're going to make money too. So make sure you show them that you're serious. Getting traffic. All right, we want to get as much traffic. There's so many people out there buying products. You want to get the most from the traffic that's coming your way from an Amazon perspective, and obviously from a customer perspective. This is a shot of the 405, which is in Los Angeles. And trust me, if you go and just Google, Thanksgiving Day traffic on the 405, you'll see it about 20 times more than this. But anyway, traffic, guys, there's a lot of people coming and they want to find your listing. So let's hustle. Let's get all the traffic. Let's make sure we get it. This is probably the best thing you can do for your business right now. It is making sure your listing is optimized for all the keywords that are out there. And there are many ways to go about getting this. The best way you can do it is absolutely use Keywords on Fire. If you're logged into ZonGuru, the new keyword tool that we have, people are blown away by it. Sellers are saying this is the best tool they've seen. They've seen opportunities they've never seen before. So go in there, do your search with Keywords on Fire, separate out your long tail keywords and your short tail keywords. Now, a reminder, if you haven't watched some of the past webinars, short tail are your biggest volume keywords, your generic ones, and your long tail are the mid-volume, low competition ones that you have to have in your listing. If you can get that right and have the long tail, mid-volume keywords in there that are less competitive and you start converting, Amazon is going to push you up to the short tail keywords and you're going to get way more traffic. So you've got to make sure you have those long tail keywords in there, not just those 10 or 15 short tail keywords. And the more you can do that, your competitors aren't, the more sales you're going to get. I can guarantee that's going to make the biggest difference to your business. The second thing is index check. Make sure that even though your keywords are in your listing, that Amazon's algorithm actually realizes you have those keywords and that you rank for those keywords. We have a free tool, I'll show you in a second. You can actually go in there, check all your keywords and make sure that Amazon's actually registering those keywords so you can convert for those. And then make sure you health check your account. So go into your account right now, look under Seller Central, go to your health section of your account, make sure your seller account has got the right percentage, that if there's any negative seller store reviews in there, that you can get rid of those, or that you convert those into ones for the customer reviews, that everything there is done so that your account is prime optimized, and Amazon says, hey, these guys know what they're doing, they're legit, let's send them business. And obviously customer reviews, making sure you're on top of that. So guys, this is one of the biggest things you can do for your business. Go in there, optimize again and again, and put that extra hour of work into your business every single week moving forward. PPC, guys, this is again, there's 3 or 4 key new features in PPC. And if you watch Seller Insights, which we just, I think we just shot like last week with Howard Lee, he's great. He's given us some key strategies around that. He also gave me some thoughts here, but from a structure perspective, guys, make sure your PPC is structured correctly. If you need to speak to page 1 with Keith, go in there, make sure that Gennaro, all those guys have got it structured right. I'm sure they're obviously on it, but if you are interested in hearing what they have to say, go and talk to them or do it yourself. But at a high level, the things that you need to do is make sure you have your main converting keywords in one bucket, right? One campaign. In the other one, you have to have your longer tail, medium keywords. Have those in there. Have a manual campaign and your automatic campaign set up, and you can adjust your bids accordingly as you work through and you start to get sales. So that's really important to have the structure right, and then to manage your budgets for that, guys. Again, this plays into net margin. So when you go into a dashboard in ZonGuru, you can see your ACOS and your ACOTS. ACOS is your advertising cost of sales, so the sales that come from advertising as a percentage. Usually around 20% or less is good. ACOTS, this is unique to ZonGuru. It's a number that I came up with, which is your advertising cost of total sales. So what is the advertising sales you get versus your total sales as a percentage? Because that's ultimately what hits your bottom line. So if it's around 6%, 7%, that's good. That's a little bit off your net margin, but it's not bad. So manage those two numbers, and it's right there on your dashboard. Those are really key figures so that you can make money while you're making sales using your PPC. All right, guys, following along here, let's talk about holiday programs. So there's lightning deals. Amazon is going to start sending out a few emails. Hey, take advantage of this deal, this sponsored search, whatever those are. I can tell you that based on our types of businesses, now you have to judge this for yourself. I've done some testing in this. Lightning deals is probably not the right thing for us as a business. You pay to participate, but if you're not on page one and doing massive volume in a highly competitive category like moisturizers or consumable goods, whatever that is, like energy supplements or something like that, lightning deals is probably not the right thing for you. The best thing to do is to stay the course, trust in your product, your differentiation, and make sure you optimize for the traffic, and the traffic will come, I guarantee you. But lightning deals, those kind of things, in my opinion, judge it for yourself. But from reports I've had back as well as testing ourselves, these are not things that we necessarily need to compete in unless we are on page one doing massive volume. So the key thing is that let's not be a sheep. Let's not get all excited and do every single thing out there. Let's actually make sure that we're doing the right things for our business. This, guys, outside traffic, this is probably the best thing that I would do for my business right now. There are a bunch of blogs, influencers, news articles, promotional PR pieces that are being written out there right now where they are looking for unique products that they can put on their list that they can advertise to their audiences. If you can do a little bit of work around outreach and connecting with some of those blogs, those things, those people who are putting together these lists, these Christmas lists, these holiday lists, and if you can get your product onto that and you're getting outside traffic to your listing, you are going to blow up. Amazon is going to start sending you so much traffic you won't even know what to do with it. And we've seen this with ZonGuru customers. They've reached out to us and just said, I can't believe what's actually happening right now, because they've actually made those connections with the right types of blogs that have potentially been published in magazines, newspapers, whatever. So it doesn't hurt to do a little bit of work on that side. See if you can target a few of those listings and PR projects and get your product onto that. If you can do that and get some outside traffic, you're going to blow up over the season. So if I could put any work into that, it would be the listing part, the PPC part, and absolutely the outside traffic part. Do some work there, set that up, be confident in your product. People want unique, interesting things, take it to them, and take it from there. So start to do a little bit of work on that. And finally, guys, convert. Listen, you're getting all this traffic now. You've prepped, you've optimized, you've got all your stock, you're getting all this traffic, and now you want to make sure you convert. So how can you get a slam dunk? You can get a slam dunk by, one, monitoring your competitors' behaviors. They might be running around doing the monkey business, putting in wrong visuals, doing shady black hat tactics. They might be dropping their prices, doing a bunch of stuff to try and get the sales. And you need to monitor your closest competitors, and if they're doing the wrong things, report them through Search Central. You can report them, get them banned, whatever that is, but monitor them, and then also watch their pricing. Don't react, but understand what they're doing, understand what the global space is doing, and then price your product accordingly. So you need to monitor and make sure you understand what they're doing. And also, if they run out of stock, that's when you nail them. You can push your price up, you can make more margin, you can do a bunch because you're the only choice out there. So you've got to keep a close eye on your competitors, because that's where you can make the most money. Images and overlays. This is the time, guys. Get in there, make sure your images are perfect. Your overlay benefits. Maybe it's a Christmas message as well. So look at holiday specific copy. Make sure that everyone's here. They're going through hundreds of products trying to choose what they want for their family. Make sure you stand out. And if you can have some holiday copy in there, go for it as well. They can always work. You can throw a few into your backend keywords as well if you don't want to put it in your main description as well. So make sure you add that copy. And then, guys, if you're selling more than one product, look at bundling. It's always good to bundle. That's a different SKU, a different way of looking at your product, and it might be great for a Christmas gift, and your margins might be better. So if you're not bundling, make sure you bundle it, pull some products, put them together, or work with your supplier to bundle products, and definitely test that. That's a great thing to do over this season. And then finally, gift wraps, guys. In Seller Central for that product, you can go and you can check that box that says, ability to be gift wrapped. If you check that, when a customer buys on Amazon, when they're going through the process, they can say, please gift wrapped. They pay for that, Amazon takes care of that, but they may want to gift wrapped. And if you're not having that as an option, they're going to skip your product and go to someone else's. So make sure you check that box that it can be gift wrapped. That is key. It's going to bring you a lot more sales. So make sure you've got that done in your account. And then finally, guys, customer service, right? So customer is king. There's going to be a bunch of returns coming. So when the returns come, when they start to engage you, or if they have problems or they're trying to get it somewhere or whatever, make sure you are on your customer service. You're fast, you're great, you're professional, and you're responding to them. This is an amazing opportunity to turn people who are stressed about getting their product or getting the wrong product into amazing customers by giving them great customer service. And you can start to build your list. You can start to do a bunch of stuff. But any contact you have with customers right now, and if you give them great customer service, they are customers for the next year at least, plus everyone else they tell. So, guys, any chance to engage with your customers, you need to make sure you do that. And email automated is the one that you need to have in place. Make sure you've got that. We'll go into that in a second. But guys, there's going to be a lot of returns and chances for additional sales and relationships. So customer is king. Make sure you understand that. All right, guys. So, guys, that is high level. What do you get your questions in there? Hopefully you're following along. We're going to jump in and I'm going to demo for a few minutes and we're going to jump into some real questions that you guys have. So let's jump over and actually look at ZonGuru and go through some key tools that you should be using so that you can meet these main criteria that we just talked about. And I'm going to show you a brand new tool as well. Who's excited to see a brand new tool that actually isn't even live yet? We're going to show you that in a second. It's coming out actually in about a week. So you guys are going to be the first people to actually see this tool. So if you're excited to see that, I need at least 5 yeses. Otherwise, I'm just going to skip it and not show you guys. Okay. So okay, there we've got 5. Cool. I'm going to have a sip of water and then we're going to jump straight in. Okay, guys, let me know if you can see my screen, but where do I want to start? I want to start right here. Okay, guys, if you can see my screen right now, we are going to talk about the very first piece that I've talked about in terms of optimizing your listing for short and long tail keywords and making sure your listing is indexed. This is about getting traffic. You've got to get traffic to make sure that people see you. So that when they're searching on Amazon, your door is there and your door is shining bright and people click on that and knock on it, you open it and sell them a product, right? So you've got to be there. So I've gone in and run a search on keywords on fire. And this is, if you guys, this is available in your account. If you want to see the detail of exactly how to use that, we have some training videos we've just shot. We can access that. Dan can get those to you, but also up in the top right-hand corner, if you want a tutorial, just click on Need Help and you will see all the details in there. So I'm not going to go too much into the detail because we've covered this before, but I want to show you how you actually put together your short and long tail keywords. So I've just done yoga mat as I usually do. Yoga mats, I've pulled in 50 products based on the phrase search that I've done. It's done a reverse lookup on 50 products plus all the keywords from Amazon directly. It's the most powerful tool you can literally put together. It's giving you, 300 unique keywords here that are really relevant for your listing, worth a total of over $6 million. So this is the kind of power that you can access some of those. You are smiling all the way to the Christmas bank. All right, so let's jump in here. So these are all the keywords that are pulled together, and we give you some really key features around dollars from keywords, search volume, reviews, all these key things. I'm not going to get into the detail of that, but the main thing here is to use your filters, right? So if you use your filters and then save those views, you actually have the ability to break out which keywords are your strongest and then which ones are your actually long tail keywords. So your short tail keywords are the ones that really are getting the most relevancy, the most traffic, And this is based on the ZonGuru score. So what I do is I just go in here, use the filters, use ZonGuru score, but then I just save the filters, right? So I've saved them, and I've just basically done a score over 60. So anything over 60, I save, and I say those are my most powerful short-tailed keywords. I then also save a view, which is, hey, less than or more than 2,000 monthly searches, but less than, I've just put in here 500 reviews, because this is a big category. But that is the mid-volume, low review count keywords that I really want to optimize for from a long tail perspective. And if I can get sales there, my rankings is absolutely going to go up. So I've gone in and saved those 2 views. Now I'm going to show you guys this brand new tool, which is an update on our listing optimizer. It's incredibly powerful. It's coming out in a week or 2. But if I go into listing optimizer right here, okay, if you guys can see that, essentially what I can do is I can pull in an ASIN, right? So if I just go in here, copy this ASIN. Now there's some other updates here as well. You can pull in your ASIN, or if you have an account, you can just upload your ASIN right here. So it'll pull straight from your Seller Central account and bring your product right in, which is amazing. Nothing else in the space like that. But if I want to pull an ASIN, I just put it in here, right? Submit. So I'm just pretending this is my product right now, but if it's live, it's pulled in this whole thing. And now I can actually load the keywords from Keywords on Fire. Now remember, I want to load those keywords first, those ones that I've saved out. So the ones that are over that ZonGuru scored 60, my short tail keywords, and I want the strong and medium keywords that are indicated to us from Listing Optimizer. And then I load these keywords, bam. And then I just hit done. It's going to tell me right here by this little big fire flame over here, these are my hottest, strongest keywords that are going to drive the most traffic and conversions, the most relevant. These are medium ones, which are awesome. It tells me exactly here. And then on the right-hand side, it tells me, is that keyword in my bullets, in my description, or in my title? And then it'll actually tell me, is it a broad match, or is it actually an exact match? And where does it appear in my title, bullets, description, etc., or in my backend keywords? And we'll get into that in a second. But it's telling me, and then it highlights them. If I look over here, let's go up here. So it actually highlights there. The yellow means it's a broad match or exact match, I'm sorry, and then the green means it's a broad match. Depending on how you put your keywords in, it's going to tell you exactly where they are and where you optimize. But just look at this listing. This is one of the better sellers, and look how many keywords they actually are missing out on. I mean, if you can actually put these into a listing, you are going to crush it. So we've right here, we've got 80% of opportunity that we are literally not showing anybody. This listing is not showing for that. So you guys should use this, put that in there. And this is our most powerful keywords. Then go in and actually load in the second view, which I told you about, which is the actual longer tail keywords. Load that in, put that in, and then you can export your listing, and you've got your listing updated, and you can take that to town. So there's a lot of opportunity. You guys have to run this, do this exercise. It's coming out next week. So as soon as this comes out, you'll have this much stronger, more powerful listing optimizer tool, which is there for you guys to use. And this could literally mean double the amount of business if you get this right. So it's yours as part of the same subscription. So go ahead and use it and get more money. Great. All right, guys. So that is a key one there. The other one that I did want to show you, and I'm just going to copy a couple of keywords here, is the free listing ASIN checker. So remember what I said to you is your listing is packed with all these keywords, backends, descriptions, bullets, titles, but does Amazon's algorithm actually recognize and index a few of those keywords? And this changes day to day, or not day to day, week to week. They could potentially index you one week, and next week they don't. And if your sales are falling off, this is the first thing you should do, is actually check your index checking and make sure that Amazon is indexing your keywords. So just go in here, it's free. You can type that ASIN in there. You just simply put those keywords in. I'll grab that ASIN again. Just go in here, type it in. Great, and then just hit get results, and it will tell you, bam, right here, which keywords are you actually indexed for? Yoga mat is one word, interesting, big flat, so it's going to tell you, hey, these ones are, and these ones aren't. Yoga mat is strap, okay? So if that, or TD will take that out, but if you're not indexed for that, then go in, double check your listing, and then double check your backend keywords and make sure that you are indexed for those keywords. So this is a really powerful tool, guys. You need to do this work up front. All right, and then the final tip there is your search term report. If you're running paid search, pull the search term reports out of Seller Central, double check those keywords. You can see which ones you actually are converting for, and then put those into ASIN index checker and make sure that you're actually indexing for those keywords. If not, put them into your listing. It's a great way to make sure that all the keywords that your customers are searching for and converting on, you have in your listing. That's a really important step to do. Make sure you do that. Okay, so that is getting traffic. Let's look really quickly at the COGS. This is really important, guys. If you're using ZonGuru and you're live or about to go live, you have to make sure that you put in your COGS and that you put in the days to ship to manufacturer and supplier. And if you have anything in your 3PL, how much stock you have there and how long it takes to ship from your 3PL. If you can put your data in correctly here, from your COGS all the way through your shipping details, your dashboard is going to work at 200%, and it's going to tell you exactly what you need to know about your business to make sure that you can take action and be proactive instead of reactive. That's really important. So put in all the details here. It'll tell you when you need to reorder, how much stock you have in place, and then that reordering is based on your actual current, excuse me, your current sales volume. So that's really important. If you go into your business dashboard, this is what you should be monitoring your business on a daily basis to make sure that you are optimized. Now, this is the demo account that we have, but it will obviously tell you your net margin. Down here on the right-hand side, it will actually tell you when you need to reorder your stock. So is this, you know, I need to reorder from my supplier on November 1st, or for example, down here, I need to reorder from supplier or ship from my 3PL on these dates. So it's going to automatically calculate that for you. So you know, hey, I need to reorder from my supplier, put that reorder invoice in on this date or before, and then for my, if I have in 3PL, when I need to ship that in. So that's all there for you guys to manage. It's extremely powerful. This whole breakdown of sales, organic versus paid, ACOS versus ACOTS, is really important to make sure that your paid search is actually working for you. And again, you know, if you're under 20% and this ACOTS of 3%, this is great. This is a powerful business right now. It's absolutely nailing it. And you're about 70% organic versus paid. This is a really, really solid business right now. And net margin of 44%. I mean, you're smiling all the way. This is amazing. And then down the bottom, best and worst. So look at what your best revenue is, your best conversions. You know, manage that from your PPC perspective. But also click on worst. You know, what are the ones that are doing the worst? How can I make them better? Because that's extra sales. So look at your best and worst across all of these return rates, ROI, all those kind of things are really, really key for your business. And the other key things, guys, that I want to cover. Email automator. Make sure you're set up with your email automator. I mean, it's pretty much all the tools here that you make sure you use. But email automator, guys, make sure you switch it on. You know, go in there, double check your copy. If you want to make Christmas copy, great. Make sure that this is working and that it's not asking for a positive review. You don't want Amazon to ban you during this season. Make sure you'll buy the book, that you're just asking for an honest review if you are asking for that at all. And then down the bottom, you can look at day parting. You can manage this within your orders. If you need to stop email or turn them on, there's a whole bunch of things you can do there to manage it and make sure that you're connecting with your customer. And then obviously product monitor. This is really important, guys, because you will start to get notifications if you get negative or positive reviews. You can get on top of that. You can sort it out. And you can make sure your customer is happy and you can get all that business from them and establish a relationship for future. So, guys, that is, I think, pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. Darren, any comments there? Any thoughts? I think one thing I did want to show you guys is the Chrome extension. Sales Bar. I did want to show you Sales Bar, but before I do that, on the Chrome extension, this number 1, 2, and 3, especially when you type in your type of product, that'll tell you who your biggest competitors are, who are getting the most clicks and conversions. And that's really important to monitor, because whoever that is during the Christmas period, you know that customers are clicking on that. So why are they? Is it the price? Is it the images? Is it the copy? Is it the product? Is it the product shot? These are things you need to really recognize, because straight from the horse's mouth, from the customer, they tell you they are clicking on this and buying it. So how can you replicate and beat that? That's really important. So look at those numbers, the 1, 2, and 3 right here. That's coming straight from Amazon, all the sales and conversions that are coming from those products. And then Sales Pie, definitely go in, guys, and make sure on Sales Pie that you click in here, you put in the last year, which is, you know, you go in here. It's not loading right now, but it's got the last 6 months there. But open it up and look at sales over time. This is just the squeaky toy that we've obviously been tracking, but look at the sales. See, did they do well over December? This guy obviously did really well over the April Easter period. Maybe that was tied to holiday, but look at the seasonality of your closest competitors. Go back a year, look at that, make sure you understand what kind of sales they're doing, and have they stayed in stock, have they not, you know, and manage it from there. So that's going to be really helpful to give you guys the right information so you can prep and make sure you have all of those things sorted out with your supplier, you're getting all the traffic and you're converting, and this tool really comes to life and will help you guys to manage it and to beat all the competition, get all the sales. So I think that's everything I want to cover. Anything else, Darren, from that side?
Yeah, you may need to mute yourself so we don't get echo.
Okay, hold on. I'll just mute myself real quick.
Cool. Yeah, the only thing that I would add, I mean, you covered basically everything, John, is one of our most underutilized features is actually the email blast feature. And I know quite a few different sellers who have had a lot of success leveraging past orders to promote either new products or holiday promotions and deals. So with email blast, you can select all customers that have ordered from you in, I believe, the last 60 days. And you can send one-off targeted emails to those customers, and again, it's been very successful for some sellers.
Yeah, but just going to email automator and then go into email blast, and you can set up a campaign there, and you can send them something, whatever your message is. Make sure it's by the book, and become top of mind. You know, the sales are going to come there, so definitely use that at the right time during the Christmas season. Guys, that is it. This is, you know, at a high level, I want to make sure that you understand that there is a lot of activity and craziness and people jumping on the bandwagon. I want to encourage you to prep, understand what your goals are, and be focused on that and stick to the main guidelines of creating a proper business. If you stick to that, the sales are going to come. You don't have to run around like a monkey. Just stick to it, and you will see the sales come, and just stay in stock as much as you can. And at the end of the day, if you really do run out of stock and you've brought in more stock than you could have imagined, it's okay. You know, you're going to get it back and you'll be ready for next season. So it's better to run out than not run out at all, right? I guess if you haven't bought enough stock. So let's jump over to questions, guys. Q&A. I'm going to be here for the next few minutes. If you have specific questions, jump on. And if you have any feedback or anything like that, just throw it in. I want to make sure that you guys get what you need out of this session. From a Q&A perspective. So let's open that up. So you want me, are you, all right, I'll bring it up, okay. I thought Darren was going to bring up the questions, but okay. For whatever reason, it's not letting me open it. So maybe.
Sure. How about I just ask you the question?
Yeah, sure.
So Kimberly Locke asks, I'm about to place my first order. Do I have a chance to get into the Christmas season at this point?
Okay, so guys, it depends on what category you're in. One, speak to your supplier, understand when you can get stock by, and then speak to Amazon, go into your Sales Central accounts, and speak to a representative there. But they do actually start to block it out. I think it's going to start coming in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Some of the toy sections are actually already blocked if you haven't opened an account. Another trick to do is to actually just send any product into your account so it's open, it's seasoned, it has one product, to send it in there and buy it straight off, at least in your account is open, and then you could probably potentially get product into there. The other thing they do is they do limit the amount of stock, so they might limit it to quite a low number if you're just opening. So then make sure you send it into a 3PL, and you can ship directly from your 3PL into your account. So it's getting tight, and I don't know, there's definitely 2 ways of looking at it, to scramble and get it in for the season. If it's seasonal, obviously you want to be in there, but if not, sometimes it's good to launch in January when everyone else is out of stock, and you can go in there, you can get the numbers, you can crush, and you can build your business over the next year. So you just got to ask yourself the question, is it a long-term play, you're building your business, or are you seasonal and you want to get in there and you're so hungry to get it right now? My point of view with my products that I've launched is, by now, if I'm not totally dialed in, I might even skip the season and go in January, but some other people might take it differently. So you've got to weigh that up for yourself, but do the homework. If you ask the suppliers, ask Amazon, get all those answers, you can make that decision.
Cool. All right, so Vicky Flack asks, hi guys, my first inventory is likely to land early November. So I'll be launching just at Black Friday. Is there any specific advice surrounding PPC?
Yeah. So a couple of things. One is take advantage of the automatic review program from Amazon, so you get a few reviews on your product. So I want to make sure that if you guys are going live, that you have some reviews first of all, enough so that there's enough social proof. Just those 4 or 5 is fine as a start. And then from a PPC perspective, yeah, I think understanding if you use keywords on file, it'll give you the actual PPC bid, so you can see what you should be bidding. But I would probably go pretty aggressive. So I would make an automatic campaign running to collect the type of keywords that potentially you are missing, that Amazon see as keywords that convert for your product. And then I would stick some budget behind your manual PPC campaigns and go pretty aggressive in the first, the first 2 weeks. That is the honeymoon period. You want to make sure that you're getting in front of customers and converting. So, put together those manual campaigns. And again, as I said, do your highest volume short tail keywords and then your longer tail in separate accounts, and you manage budgets to both of those. And as you see your converting keywords come up, make a third account out of the highest converting ones, so you can really manage that PPC. But those first 2 weeks are huge. So make sure that you go aggressive and put some money behind it.
Awesome. We don't have too many more questions. Marcel does ask, do our tools work in the Aussie marketplace? So maybe just run through the breakdown of tools.
Yes, they do work in the Australian marketplace. We work with a Chrome extension. You can connect your accounts. Pretty much all the tools work on that front. I think there might be 1 or 2, but on the brand analytics and stuff, some of the things that we have in the Chrome extension might not be showing, but certainly sales do. And if you connect your account, that business dashboard, the email automator, all those things work. It runs for your business. So absolutely get in there and connect that. That's important. Yeah.
Cool. I've actually got a question. So, during the holiday season, I'm sure a lot of people will type in, especially if they're gifting an item to a friend, family member, gifts for camping enthusiasts or things that are more specific to the holiday season. Have you found that adjusting your listing copy to include words that might pertain to that type of search provides more traffic to listings, or is that not a good idea?
I think that it is really important to have those key phrase searches in your listing, in the back end keywords at least, or potentially even in the description. That's potentially a way of getting recognized for someone who's typing in that type of search. And again, look on Keywords on Fire. Maybe run one during the holiday season to see if there's some long tail keywords that have that word gift in there. But at a high level, it's not going to help with your conversion necessary by having those words, because no one's going to read that. They look at the images, but it is going to show up for those searches. And maybe Amazon's going to recognize it and showcase that in some of the emails and that kind of stuff and their own internal marketing. So I would include it. You could potentially try overlay that on one of your images, like the perfect gift for camping enthusiasts for this holiday season or something like that as an overlay benefit. That might get you more conversions, and it's worth testing. But something in your copy, probably not. People don't necessarily read that copy. It's just more about ranking for those. Guys, if you have any other questions, we're going to be on here for 5 minutes. And it doesn't have to be just related to Q4. If you have a burning question that you haven't been able to get answered, you have me here for 5 minutes or so, so we can cover anything that you would like, whether you are selling or researching or what I had for breakfast, which is just a cup of coffee. So, I'll give you that answer right now. So, guys, yeah, if you have any more questions, shout in there. Okay, we have one.
Yep. Elise Adams asks, can I use my competitor's brand name in my keyword list?
So the answer is technically no. Amazon doesn't allow you to include brand keywords in your listing as against terms. People do it, and they get away with it. I would say, again, you have to, without knowing what your category in your product is, if you're competing with a term that is used, like Kleenex or whatever, like if that's what people type in because they're looking for that type of product, you most likely have to. But if it's just a brand, and it's not really the main buyer keyword that people search for, I wouldn't include that. I'll just stick to and again, your advantage here is to use something like Keywords on Fire or Keywords on Fire to find those non-competitive, mid-range, good search volume keywords. If you can get those into your listing and your competitors are not doing that homework and they don't know how to get those, you will start to convert on those and then you'll rank for everything. So make sure that it's not necessarily brand keywords, but it's those mid-volume keywords. Sort by search volume and low reviews for your category and get those in there and use Listing Optimizer. That's your biggest advantage here that no one else is taking advantage of. So you've got to use that for sure.
Yeah. And just a note on that, I know that if you rank for the best keywords in that category, you can also just organically rank even above that brand when somebody types in that brand's search term. So a good example of this, I don't know if it's still the case, but if you typed in Casper mattress a few months ago, you'd see actually a couple of private label sellers ranking above the Casper mattress as just an example.
Yeah, and that's you know, it might be that you're ranking for mattress rather than Casper, and Amazon has chosen to put you above. But you know, if you're on page 1, you are good. So page 1 or page 2 for whatever the search terms are. And obviously, the more unique the phrase is, that's more relevant for your products, and the less competitive it is, the bigger chance you have of converting. So that's what you need to aim for as Amazon gets more and more competitive. And obviously, in Q4, we're going to be crazy competitive. So this is your golden nugget right now, is to get those right keywords in place.
Awesome. So Vicky Black has another question regarding your PPC advice. What would you consider is an aggressive budget?
Ooh. Again, you have to look at your search volume. You have to look at your price per click. But you know, and the best way to do it is to put in an open budget on the first few days. So you know, you can limit your daily budget to $15 a day. So just put it in there, 50 or $100. You know, tell Amazon, hey, give me as many searches as you can, and manage to that. So most likely, if you're doing $100 a day, you're not going to cap that. But I would put a no limit or a very high limit, like $200 a day. You're not going to hit that, and then just manage to that, check every day and see how you're doing against those, and then you can bring it down. You can see where to cap it. But I'm not talking thousands of dollars here. You know, in a 2-week period, spending, you know, as maximum as you can is probably going to be under $1,000. Probably, it just depends on your category. But the best thing there is let Amazon tell you. And then also you have to manage your conversion and your ACoS to that, right? So give it a little bit of time. Don't set your budget your daily limit too low. Let Amazon send you the traffic, and hopefully you're converting, and then you can start to manage it from there. And again, it's not really about managing the budget, but it's about managing your ACoS, right? So as long as your advertising cost of sales is under that 20%, then just keep sending traffic, because if you're spending and making money, you're good. As soon as it starts to really kind of squeak up, that's when you need to really manage it. But I would also say in those first 2 to 3 weeks, your ACoS might be pretty high. So even if it's at 40% and you're kind of breaking even, you know, this is, especially if it's your first order, break even. This you want to get out there, and Amazon wants to see you as a big seller and a high converting seller. So put some money behind it, and just manage that ACoS.
Awesome. Teeny asks, I believe a lot of buyers are opting out of receiving correspondence from sellers. How can we still get their details or emails?
Okay, so on the first thing, opting out, there is how do I put this? We get messages when people opt out that the message isn't delivered. There are certain cases where we've seen those deliveries go through. So I wouldn't always trust that if it says that the buyer didn't get the message, they didn't get it, and we've seen that firsthand. That for whatever reason, some of the emails are going through on Amazon side. So you know, I don't know, but the big point on there is that even if it's, I'm just going to make this number up, even if it's 30% that you're getting it, that's a 30% chance you have of getting in front of issues or connecting with customers. So make sure you're using email automator. In terms of connecting with your customer in other ways, if it's a critical issue, you can through Seller Central. You can go in there. You can say, hey, I need to contact this user for this specific purpose, and it's a very important purpose, and they will let that go through. So, for example, if you've got really bad feedback and you really want to get hold of them, do that. But other than that, if they've left a review and you can't get hold of them, respond on your reviews. Make sure you go in and respond to every single review, good and bad. Hey, this is the seller. I realize you have an issue. I haven't been able to get hold of you. This is how we'd like to handle this. Or, hey, this is the seller. Great, 5-star review. I'm so glad you're happy with that. And put that in there. People read reviews and they read your responses. If you show that you, even if you can't have that one-on-one conversation with your customer, but you're responding to reviews, it's really good for your business. And maybe they'll even connect with you later. But those are within Amazon. Those are the tactics I would put in place. Yeah.
And one more just to piggyback on that is something that I remember Raj talking about last year when we spoke to him, which was using the Q&As inside of your listing as well, and actually creating an even more personal experience with video responses. So actually taking the time, set up a little small tripod, your camera phone, and show the product, answer the questions, so the person feels this more personal touch as well.
And those questions and answers are a great thing to even prep for right now, because if there are certain questions around your products that you know of that maybe aren't answered yet, get friends, family, whatever, to post those questions, get them answered, because not only does that potentially help with your ranking around those, but it gives people answers to potential hesitations that they have around your product. So get in there and go back and forth on that. Don't forget about those questions and answers, those select questions. That's a really, really good point. Yeah.
And inserts as
well. Yeah. Obviously, if you have an insert in your product and people respond on that, that's a way to build your list outside of Amazon. But that's not a one-on-one immediate response from customers.
Cool. And then I think we'll end it with this one.
Yeah, last question.
Which is one that
you guys got this? Yeah.
I'll actually be able to answer. Christine and a few other people have asked, will there be a recording? How can you get the recording? And the answer is yes, there absolutely will be. And we'll make sure that that is easily and readily accessible. It'll be sent as an email to anybody that registered for this event. We'll also have it on our YouTube page. It'll be very easily accessible.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. So that is it. If you don't have ZonGuru and you want to get it, go to special.zonguru.com. Darren, if you can type that into the chat, special.zonguru.com. There's a great offer there for you guys. You can get it there. It includes all of these tools, guys. ZonGuru has been pumping in the last 6 months. We have all the tools now to really crush it. And we are getting feedback that this is way beyond anything else that's in the space. You have a competitive advantage. Take advantage of it and use all of these tools. It's really going to make a massive difference to your business. We are seeing the proof in the pudding. We are seeing the feedback from people as to how it's helping their business. So get in there, use it. Yeah, guys, we will have another webinar in a month's time. There's already 3 that we put out. If you haven't watched those go into detail around finding products, optimizing your listing, a bunch of stuff there. If you have any ideas for other webinars that you'd like covered, you're on the chat right now, just put in there. We'll note those ideas down and we'll schedule that in the future. But wherever you are in the world, Australia, Scotland, Canada, Argentina, we had one of those. Good luck, guys. Enjoy the Christmas period, and just enjoy the ride. It is a fun ride, especially if you just launched. You don't know what's going to be coming your way, but it might just be insane sales. So good luck and wish you guys the best. Cheers for now.